1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The Cabinet approves awarding of long-term contract to import petrol and diesel. Minister Namal Rajapaksa says that all arrangements have been finalised to introduce a national identity card using new technology. The government pays special attention on renewable energy sources. Asad Sali further remanded until next month. Permission granted to reopen universities. Foreign news: Australia pledges to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Local news in detail now. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved to award a long-term contract to a Singapore-based energy and commodities company to import petrol and diesel to Sri Lanka, the Government Information Department stated. Bids have been called from the registered suppliers of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation for the importation of 1,341,000 barrels of petrol, 92 UNL, and 459,000 barrels of petrol, 95 UNL, for a period of 8 months from January 1, 2022 to August 31, 2022. Accordingly, the green light has been given to award the proposal to Vitol Asia Singapore Private Limited by the Cabinet of Ministers as recommended by the Special Standard Procurement Committee. The relevant proposal was tabled by the Minister of Energy in the Cabinet meeting held yesterday. Minister Namal Rajapaksa says that all arrangements have been finalised to introduce a national identity card using new technology. He told this at the Dasa Desin Hatha program of the SLBC, and this program will be implemented under the concept of the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. It is hoped to initiate this program by the first quarter of next year. The aim of this program is to provide a digital ID card for every citizen in the country. The former Western Province Governor Asad Sali, who was incarcerated over the controversial statement he had made during a media briefing early this year, has been further remanded until November 9th. The case was called before the Colombo Chief Magistrate Buddhika Sri Ragala this morning. During the proceedings, Sali's attorney requested the magistrate to grant his incarcerated client permission to sign a document to sell a piece of land. Accordingly, the prison superintendent was directed to make necessary arrangements for the defendant to sign the relevant document while in prison. Minister Ramesh Patrana says that measures have been taken to import nitrogen liquid fertilizer from India due to non-receipt of sufficient fertilizer needed for cultivation activities. Participating at the Cabinet media briefing held today, he said that the government is not ready to obstruct the paddy cultivation in the country. He also stated that the government has paid special attention on renewable energy sources. He reiterated that the government hopes to provide opportunities for the local and foreign investors. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. University Grants Commission Chairman Professor Sampath Amaratunga said that permission has been granted to resume university studies at any given date for the students who have completed the 14-day period after the second COVID vaccine. He said health guidelines had been issued to all vice-chancellors. As for the first phase of the program, the UGC has decided to summon only 25% of the university's student capacity. The JVP has submitted a petition to the Appeals Court requesting to issue a writ petition to make the agreement to hand over 40% of shares of the Yugadanavi power plant, which is owned by the government, powerless. It was submitted by former parliamentarian of the JVP Sunil Hadunnetti and Vasantha Samarasinghe. Several parties, Prime Minister, members of the Cabinet and Public Utility Commission have been named as respondents. The petitioners have been accused that the tender procedure to hand over the relevant shares had not been conducted systematically. And that ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Container goods inspections are currently being carried out by the Sri Lanka Customs at 3 private sector yards in Orugodawata and Grand Pass. Custom officers on duty as well as clients have to face difficulties due to the limited space and facilities available in those yards. Container transport to these yards also causes heavy traffic congestion in the Colombo area. In view of this situation, a feasibility study has been conducted under the Asian Development Bank to identify the most suitable location among the alternative locations of Blomandal, Paliagoda and Keravalapitia. Accordingly, a 19-acre, 9.26 purchased land belonging to the Sri Lanka Land Development Corporation near the Keravalapitia interchange has been identified as the most suitable location to set up the proposed inspection centre. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Live.
A special telephone number has been introduced by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to alert them or to obtain details if there is a fuel shortage. People can contact the CPC through the telephone number 011 5455 130 to obtain or to pass information regarding fuel issues. The telephone number once again 011 5455 130. People can inform the CPC if they come across issues related to fuel stocks in filling stations or if fuel is hidden. And that was Watch Light.
World News.
In the headlines, Australia pledges to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Afghans likely to face acute hunger. Japan's Princess Mako finally marries commoner boyfriend Kei Komiuro. World news in detail now. One of the world's most criticized polluters, Australia has promised it will achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Prime Minister Scott Morrison made the long-delayed pledge after bargaining with resistant MPs within his government. He said Australia had a plan to lower emissions, but it would not include ending its massive fossil fuel sectors. The nation will also not set ambitious targets for 2030, an objective of next month's COP26 Global Climate Summit. The food agencies of the United Nations are warning that more than half of Afghanistan's population could face acute hunger unless urgent action is taken. The World Food Programme and the Food and Agriculture Organization issued the warning on Monday in a report on food security in Afghanistan. The report says that 22.8 million people, or more than half of Afghanistan's population of 39 million, will barely have minimum food or will suffer malnutrition between November and March due to serious food shortages. It cites a combination of drought and economic situation that has worsened since the Taliban took power. Japan's Princess Mako has married her college sweetheart Kei Komiuro thus losing her royal status. Under Japanese law, female imperial family members forfeit their status upon marriage to a commoner, although male members do not. She also skipped the usual rites of a royal wedding and turned down a payment offered to royal females upon their departure from the family. She is the first female member of the royal family to decline both. The couple are expected to move to the US, where Mr. Komiuro works as a lawyer after marriage. Back to the headlines of the world news. Australia pledges to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Afghans likely to face acute hunger. Japan's Princess Mako finally marries commoner boyfriend Kei Komiuro. And that ends world news.
And now in development news.
Approval of the Cabinet of Ministers has been granted at the meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers for the initiation of a pharmaceutical zone in the Millava area, Horana, to allocate a portion of land extent of 65 acres for the implementation of the said project and to appoint a steering committee for monitoring the activities pertaining to the execution of the project. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers granted approval to the resolution tabled by the Minister of Health for nominating the proposed pharmaceutical zone as SPMC Lotus Pharma project. And that was development news.
Sports news.
Another 2 matches of the T20 World Championship Cricket Tournament will be held today. South African team and the West Indies team are to compete under Group A. The match will begin at 3:30 p.m. local time in Dubai. The second match will be played between New Zealand and Pakistan team at 7:30 p.m. local time tonight at Sharjah. Sri Lanka have finalized their 17-member squad for the next month's Women's ODI World Cup qualifier in Zimbabwe with 16-year-old Vishmi Gunaratne a surprise inclusion when the squad was first announced earlier this month, retaining her place. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Virtual Boat Show Sri Lanka 2021, organised by the Boat Building Technology Improvement Institute and the Sri Lanka Export Development Board in association with the Minister of Trade, was launched yesterday by the Minister of Trade, Bandula Gunawardena. The aim of the event is to provide a single platform for all related business sectors involved directly and indirectly in the boat and shipbuilding industry and nautical tourism sector to display and promote their respective sectors for potential international and local clients and giving initiation for the recreational boating culture in Sri Lanka. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
economic news, a comprehensive promotional plan has been put in place by the Hambantota International Port Group, HIPG, to position the port and its industrial zone as a haven of opportunity for setting up light industries. Many potential investors have been reached and discussions are ongoing for direct investment into the zone. HIPG's expert port investment team has been stationed in China for about a year to inform and educate potential investors about new opportunities in Sri Lanka. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
In the weather report, the Met Department says that cloudy skies will prevail over most parts of the country. Showers or thundershowers will occur at most parts of the island. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western, southern, Sabragamuwa, central and Uva provinces. And that was the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
To end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The Cabinet approves awarding of long-term contract to import petrol and diesel. Minister Namal Rajapaksa says that all arrangements have been finalized to introduce a national identity card using new technology. The government pays special attention on renewable energy sources. Asad Salih further reminded until next month. Permission granted to reopen universities. Foreign news, Australia pledges to reach net zero emissions by 2050. And with that, we end this news broadcast and back to Sharifa to keep you company this Tuesday afternoon. Over to you, Sharifa.